So Gap is down bad. Recently, they have reported their FY results for the year of 2022. And just like Adidas, I feel like we all kind of expected this, but numbers ain't looking too good for the former Yeezy collaborator. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So Gap Inc. has recently released its Q4 2022 reports indicating that the company is suffering from a declining market share. By the end of Q4 2022, Gap has lost $273 million in revenue compared to the 16 million in the same period a year ago. Net sales of $4.24 billion were down 6% from the year prior, while comparable sales were down 5% year over year. Gap's decline is also due in part to the shutdown of the successful Yeezy Gap line, impacting the North American growth by a decline of 2%. Gap saw a net sales decline of 9% to $1.1 billion. So I'm trying to find that clip where he had that infamous meeting with all of the Gap execs where he was snapping on them, telling them to put all that other shit to the back of the store and to put that Yeezy Gap at the forefront. I can't find the clip, but it just clearly showed that Gap wasn't feeling his vision, and there was just clearly a disconnect, which is why things clearly didn't work out. Now, to look back at Yeezy Gap, I feel like it was a completely missed opportunity. I was a huge fan of the original vision. So I'm talking that early Wyoming era where we were seeing samples, all of those crazy, colorful things, all of those futuristic designs, which eventually we did end up getting the perfect hoodies, but I feel like that was the Yeezy Gap that I was really attached to. But when it comes to the whole Yeezy Gap engineered by Balenciaga vibe, I wasn't mad at that look either. So I love the fact that the Yeezy Gap engineered by Balenciaga definitely was a uniform look. I like that whole uniform vibe. I definitely like the darker palette, the mostly black look. I think looks really great on a lot of people, but just for me personally, honestly, it just wasn't really my thing. I ordered a couple of pieces from the collection, but after trying it on, it just wasn't really for me. But respect to everybody, that rocked that stuff. I definitely like that denim joint right there. I think that was cool. But then again, we never really saw the collection's full potential, as I think we only got like 2 of the drops, and they had some more planned. Of course, those zip ups were crazy, but I was a bigger fan of the more colorful Wyoming type of vibes that we were originally promised from Yeezy Gap, especially at the lower price points, the lower retail price points. And that's probably one of the big disconnects that Ye had with Gap, is they just couldn't get pricing right. They couldn't get everything together. I feel like Gap was a little more greedy. And of course, they are a corporation, they are a business, but I just feel like the two parties just couldn't see eye to eye, and it was a lot of missed potential. I got to keep it a buck. And not even to name, what about the Yeezy shades? So many of you guys wanted those joints, and we never got the official retail drop. It's kind of sad looking back on it. What y'all think?